Autism is a severe developmental disability that affects three primary areas of development. The first area that's affected by autism is communication. You have to remember, when we talk about autism, we're talking about a spectrum disorder, and what we mean by that is it affects people in many different ways. So the communication challenges range from kids who are completely nonverbal, don't use any spoken language to communicate, all the way up to kids who use spoken language and get their basic wants and needs met, carry on conversations, but even still their speech is different than what you would expect from a typically developing child the same age. Oftentimes it's more literal, can tend to be about topics that they want to talk about, rather than that back and forth reciprocal conversation that we see in many typically developing kids. The second point of the triangle is social behavior. Again, running the range from kids who have absolutely no interest in social experiences at all and would prefer to be left alone, all the way up to kids who really want to have friendships and develop relationships, but they're just not very good at it because they have a difficult time with things like perspective taking, understanding emotion, understanding the way their behavior impacts on other people.
Very often parents will report that another child will fall down or their sister will be crying and they don't appear to care. And it's just because they don't understand the emotion that's going on. It's not that they're not empathetic or they're not have a great heart and a great sensitivity, but it just doesn't matter to them. If mom is upset, they're still just as demanding as when she's not upset. Where other children will go, oh, this is a bad time to be asking mom for those cookies. You know, it's like, oh, we'll stay out of the room. But often our children on the spectrum just don't perceive those things.
The third area of our triangle is problem behavior. Many individuals with autism will have restricted patterns of interest, be interested only in certain limited things and have a really significant interest in those areas. Running the range from that all the way down to, in some cases, aggressive behavior and even self-injury, particularly for those students who don't have good communication skills.
Often we will hear that either the child is very disruptive because of the changes in routines, that they have to move from one subject to another and they're not wanting to and willing to, or that they're very, very quiet and again kind of hang out at the back of the classroom, very bright, get their work done, but never can engage, don't raise their hands, don't engage when they have to do a small group activity. They often do the work but aren't socializing with other children.
All those things are connected to one another. It's very hard to be effective socially if you don't have good language skills. If you have good vocal speech, it's still very hard to participate in the world at large if you don't understand the way social behavior works. Because so much of what we communicate to one another is through expression, body language, that can be very hard for some students with autism to read. And if you don't develop good communication and social skills, especially communication skills, a child will find other ways to get their wants and needs met. And oftentimes that takes the form of problem behavior. If I want out of a situation that I've been placed in, and I can't tell you that I want out using vocal speech, I'll figure out a way to make things uncomfortable enough that you take me out of that situation.
The arts offers so many unique opportunities for growth and development for kids with disabilities.
It's just a way for the children I've worked with to express themselves and for us to talk about feelings and facial expressions.
They might not be able to express what they know about a certain topic through speaking, but they could show it through dance or through art. It really gives them so many ways to express their own individuality, their creativity, and they often surprise people with what they do show through arts activities. And that wouldn't be seen in any other way.
Sometimes in working with different populations of kids, you're working with kids who have been given labels. And those kids I've been warned about, and then when they start working with me, they are fantastic. And they do great work, and they're focused, and they get so much done. And then the teachers say to me, wow, I can't believe what those guys did. Once you get to know them and understand their strengths, then you realize that they can succeed.
The higher our expectations and the more support we're able to provide, the more these students can learn and grow and really develop their talents and their abilities in ways that we might not have predicted.
I work constantly with teachers to get them to expect more out of our students with autism and related severe disabilities. And many times they'll give it to you. If you expect it, provide them with the support they need to be successful, and provide positive reinforcement and recognition when they do what they're supposed to, they'll surprise you.